Good morning and welcome to Topaz. My name is Patrick and I'll be leading the class today. We'll start with a breathing exercise. Bring your feet together, toes and ankles touching. Exhale your chin to your chest. Inhale, lift your arms up to the ceiling slowly. Exhale, release. Slowly lowering your hands back down to your side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Arms back to your side. Second set, we'll do full circles on the exhales. Tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release your arms, making full circles. Tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Back to center. Go into half moon. Feet touching, toes and feet together, toes and ankles touching. Inhale your arms up over your head, releasing your index fingers. Bump your hips to the left, rounding over to the right. Make sure your quads are engaged, the abs are engaged as you feel the stretch down the left side of your body. Picking a point out in front of you to gaze at. Keep your eyes open, chin lifted, shoulders back and down. We'll hold this pose for about a minute on each side. Go into your max for the last 10. Back to center. Inhale your arms up, overhead. This time, bending to the bump of your hips to the right, rounding over to the left. Feeling the stretch down the right side of your body. Your quads engaged, abs engaged. Reaching over to the left side of the room. Chin up, chest up. Down to your max for the last 10. And release. Going into a back bend. Inhale your arms up overhead, releasing your index fingers. This time, you'll bump your hips forward as you lean back, fall back. And release. Forward fold. Then slowly forward at your hips. Your ears, your hands by your arms by your ears as you bend slowly forward. Release your hands. You can do a couple of squats. When you get down, releasing your hamstrings. Forward fold. Put your hands behind your heels. Inhale. Exhale. Pull. Pulling is the object of stretching. Inhale. Exhale. Release. If you can't straighten your legs all the way, just make sure your abs are on your thighs. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, pull. Interlacing your fingers together. Releasing your index fingers. Slowly come back. Put your arms by your ears as you fold up. And you're back to the top. Release your hands to the side. Awkward series. Starting with awkward 1. With your feet together, toes and ankles touching. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale as you sit back into the chair. Make sure your thighs and knees are squeezed together as you sink down to your max. Should be a slight arch in the lower part of your back. Release. Awkward 2. Bring your arms parallel to the mat. Step your feet about hip width distance. You can measure hip width by putting 2 fists between your knees, and that's hip width for you. Sitting back into the chair. Goal is to try to get your knees parallel to the mat. Form a 90-degree angle with the mat. Going to your max. And release. Awkward 3. Keep your arms where they are, parallel to the mat. Come up on your toes. And sit back into the imaginary chair. Try to make sure your knees don't flare in or flare out as you sink back down into the chair. Pretend there's an imaginary wall behind you. Going to your max for the last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Arms back down to your side. eagle. Bring your feet together, toes and ankles touching. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, lower your right arm under your left, twisting like ropes, sitting back down into the chair. If you're comfortable here, you can raise your right leg up over your left, bringing your right foot behind your left calf as you sit down further. And release. Switching sides. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, swing your left arm under your right, twisting like ropes, sitting back into the chair. This time lift your left leg up, twisting around the right leg, sitting back into the chair. You get better balance as you squeeze your legs tighter together and sink down further. Inhale, release. Bring your hands back down to your side and take a quick water break. We'll start a balancing series with strong wind relieving. Shift your weight to your left foot, bending up your right at a 90-degree angle. Toes flex facing toward your face. Pretend there's a string attached to your head pulling you up so that you stand up straight and tall. And release. Switching sides. Shift your weight to your right leg, strong and engaged, lifting up your left leg at a 90-degree angle. Toes flex back toward your face. Using your left hand as resistance, stand up straight and tall. Release. Next we'll do standing forehead to knee. If you don't feel comfortable, you can do another set of strong wind relieving. But if you want to go further into the standing forward to knee, interlace all 10 fingers below your right foot, stretching out your right foot straight. Make sure your left leg is straight and strong as you fold forward towards your right knee. And release. Switching sides, matching whatever you did on the other side. If you did strong wind relieving, do strong wind relieving again for the left side. Or standing forehead to knee, interlacing all 10 fingers below your left foot. making sure your right leg is straight and strong, extending out your left leg straight. And release. For a 2-second back bend, place your hands in your imaginary back pockets as you bump your hips forward. Let your head fall back, lean back, mouth closed, breathe out your nose. And gently release. Standing bow. Start on your right side. Bring your right hand to your right side, palm facing out. Reach back for your right ankle, for the inside of your right ankle. Exhale your left hand up. Inhale as you lift up. Exhale as you lean forward. Hold this pose for about 45 seconds on each side. Gaze gently above the fingers on your left hand. Go to your max for the last 10. And release. Switching sides. Bring your left arm to your side, palm facing out. Reach for the inside of your left ankle. Inhale your arm up overhead. Exhale as you bend forward. Keep a soft gaze out above the fingers of your right hand. Abs are engaged. Going to your max for the last 10. And gently release. Roll your shoulders forward a couple of times. Roll your shoulders back. Step into the back of your mat for a 10-second yoga cardio balancing series, balancing stick. Inhale your arms up overhead, interlacing all 10 fingers, releasing your index fingers. Take a great big step with your left foot as you pivot forward, arms at your ears. Hold on for 3, 2, and 1. Move back to the back part of your mat. Other side. Inhale as you lengthen up. Exhale as you take a great big step with your right foot toward the center of your mat. Pivot at your waist. Arms by your ears. Holding on for the last 3, 2, and 1. Move back to the back end of your mat and release. Taking a quarter turn back to the front of your mat for triangle. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, release as you take a great big step about 4 feet across your mat with your right toes towards the front of the room, left toes in slightly as you sink into the lunge. Pivot forward as you bring your right arm to your knee and your left hand up straight and strong. Try to bend your right knee at a 90-degree angle, left leg straight and strong as you sink into the triangle. Abs are engaged. Sink down 1 more inch. Back to center, switching sides. This time, pivot your left toes to the front of the room, right toes in slightly as you sink down into the lunge. This time, bring your left hand towards your left knee, extending your right hand up. Working to get your left knee at a 90-degree angle. Abs are engaged. Going to your max for the last 10. Coming back to center. Bring your toes out like pigeon toes. Arms parallel to the mat as you bend forward slowly towards your mat. Release your hands to the mat. You can sway side to side. Forward fold. Bring your hands by your feet toward the back of your ankles. Inhale. Exhale, pull as you pull forward, using your biceps for this stretch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, pull forward. And release. Extending your arms out to your side as you slowly lift. Bring your left leg towards your right. Exhale, up your head, up overhead, and release. Back to the center of your mat for a final standing pose before you go to the floor. Tree. We can have a couple of options here. You can bend your right leg up to your hip crease, or if that's not comfortable, you can Bring it to your ankle, below your knee, or above your knee, but never on your knee joint. Whatever position you pick, bring your right hand to heart. If you have your balance, bring your left hand to heart. Abs are engaged, quads are engaged. You can press down on your left big toe to get the balance if you feel you're losing your balance. Soft gaze towards the front of the room. And release. Switching sides, shift your weight into your right leg as you bend your left leg up into your hip crease, repeating whatever you did on the other side. Left hand to heart, right hand to heart. Soft gaze towards the front of the room. Press down on your right big toe to help with your balance. And release. You can take another quick water break as you lay back into Shavasana. As we prepare for leg lifts, if you have any lower back issues, you can bend up your left knee, put your foot flat on the ground. With your right leg, flex your toes towards your face. Slowly lift up your right leg as far as you can without bending your knee. Exhale, release. Hovering about 2 inches above the ground. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale. Make sure you keep your feet flexed. Make sure your toes are flexed towards your face. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale. Exhale as you release. Lifting your shoulders up off the mat if you're comfortable. Holding for the last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Switching sides, doing whatever you did on the other side. Flexing your left toes back towards your face. Lift your left leg up. Toes flex back towards your face. Legs straight and strong. And release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lifting up your leg as straight as you can without bending your knee. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release as you lift your shoulders up off your mat. holding on for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Double leg lifts, flexing both feet back towards your face. Inhale as you lift your shoulders up off the mat. Lift both legs up, straight and strong, without bending your knees. Exhale, release. Hovering about 2 inches above your mat. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Holding on for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Take a deep breath. Inhale through your nose and exhale out through your nose. Bridge. Bend up both feet towards your glutes. Lift up your hips. Feet should be about hip width distance. Make sure your knees don't flare in or flare out. You can interlace all 10 fingers below your back, lifting up on one shoulder and then the other. Going to your max. And gently release. And bring your knees into your chest. And rock side to side, releasing your lower back. And release. Floor spine twist. Bending up your right leg. Curl your right feet under your left knee as you twist to your left side. Extending up your right hand as you twist back to your right side. Looking over your right shoulder. Making sure that your right knee is touching the mat. You can use your hand to hold it down. It's okay if your right shoulder doesn't touch the mat, but just make sure that your right knee does touch the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Back to center. Switching sides. Extend out your right leg. Bend up your left leg. Toes behind your right knee. Twisting onto your right side this time. Extend your left hand up as you twist over to the left side, gazing over your left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. making sure your left knee is touching the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Coming back to center. Extending both legs in front of you, laying back in Shavasana. Taking a deep breath in your nose and out your nose. Keeping your eyes open, top gaze toward the ceiling. Going to do a sit-up to a forward fold. Inhale your arms up over your head. Exhale as you lift up and reach for your toes. It's okay if you can't straighten out your legs. Just you can use a towel to help you if you have flexibility issues. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Going to your max. And release. Rolling on to your belly. Head toward the front of the room. Toes toward the back of the room for our spine series, starting with Cobra. Put your hands underneath your shoulders, your toes touching. As you lift up into Cobra, using the strength of your lower back, you should be able to lift up all fingers off the mat as you use the strength of your lower back to raise up. Going to your max. And release. Right ear on the mat. Toes touch. Take a deep breath. And release. Bring your head back to center for full locust. This time, bring your arms out like airplane. This time, you will lift your arms and legs up as you lift up. Lifting up as high as you can. And gently release. Left ear on the mat, toes touching. Bring your head back to center for floor bow. Bring your hands back towards your ankles. Inhale as you lift up. Rolling to the soft part of your belly. Lift up. Go to your max for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right ear on the mat. Take a deep breath in your nose and out your nose. Dolphin. Interlace all 10 fingers below your chest. Lift up onto your knees. Make sure your hips are above your knees. Curl your toes under and lift up into dolphin. We'll hold this pose for about a minute. This pose builds strong mental and physical strength, helping out with strengthening your shoulders. That can help out for inversions. Making sure you're breathing in your nose and out your nose. And release. Coming down to your knees. Putting your hands where your elbows were for cat and cow. Inhale as you release your chest down, your belly down. Exhale into cat. Release. Exhale, release back down into child's pose. Sitting back onto your heels, extending your hands toward the top of your mat, making this an active pose, not resting your elbows on the mat, extending your hands out as far as you can. And release. Coming back up, going into separate, extending your left leg out, bending your right leg in towards your knee for separate leg stretch. Inhale your arms up over your head, squaring your hips towards your left leg as you exhale forward towards your feet, your left foot. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. gently release. Switching sides. Bend up your left leg into your right thigh, extending out your right leg, squaring your hips towards your right foot. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward as you go to your max. Exhale, release. Intense flesh stretch. Make sure you're sitting on your sit bones. You can shift your weight left and right to make sure you get on your sit bones. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward as you reach for your big toes. Or you can, if you feel comfortable, you can go for the sides of your feet. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. And release. Lay back into Shavasana. Heels touch, toes flare out. Soft gaze towards the ceiling. Prepare for a forward fold. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. And release. Coming onto your knees for camel. Knees should be about hip width distance. Put your hands in your back pocket. This is a deep back bend. If you feel comfortable, you can stay right here. If you can see back down halfway toward the ceiling, you can reach your left hand down and right hand down, bumping your hips toward the front of the room as you lean back into camel. Gently rise back up slowly. We'll reverse this with the forward bend, rabbit. In this pose, we will reach for our heels, thumbs on the outside as we bend forward. Don't want to put a whole lot of weight on your head. In this pose, don't twist to the left or the right. Just look toward your belly button and pull on your heels. And release, gently coming up, one vertebrae at a time, head coming up last. Laying back into Shavasana. Heels touch, toes flared out. Sit up to a forward fold. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale as you lift up towards your feet. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. And release. Seated spine twist. We'll start with our right leg bent, left leg up and over. Left leg at the base of your spine as you lift up your right arm, twisting towards your left, looking over your left shoulder. Using your left hand to help keep your back straight as you twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Gently release. Coming back to center. Switching sides. Lower your left leg, lifting up your right leg up and over. This time your right hand comes to the base of your spine as you lift up your left hand and twist towards the right, looking over your right shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And release. Coming back to center, laying back into Shavasana. Heels touch, toes flared out. Preparing for our final forward fold. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale as you come up. Reaching for your toes. Body should be nice and warm, so you should be able to go further this time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. And release. Coming back to the center of our mat for our final breathing exercise, breath of fire. We began this class with a breathing exercise and we'll end with one. With breath of fire, we'll inhale and release using our abs to release all the stale air. The first set will be nice and slow. Inhale to begin. Second set will be twice the speed, twice the time, double the pace. Inhale as you lengthen and begin. Release. Lay back down into your final Shavasana. Heels touch, toes flared out. Close your eyes. Relax your body down into your mat.